This is Jerry Bowes, and welcome to Polemic Pool. I am the narrator of today's topic and a member of the panel of Steve Anderson and Laura Casaletto. As we look at today's topic, we discuss social media. Is it detrimental to modern public discourse? That's our topic tonight. And in a moment, I'm going to have Laura and then Steve take a turn at presenting some opening comments on the topic. I would just like to say that I think social media is a great place to comment on social media. So I guess that's what we're doing tonight. I thought we could comment on the role social media has on social, cultural, and political discourse in America tonight. One question I thought we might raise is, does it challenge or enhance tribalism in America? And then I also thought we might be able to expand the topic to the general nature of modern public discourse in America, use it as a jumping board, so to speak. So, why don't we have Laura Casaletto make some opening remarks? I'd like to hear from her. Laura?
Well, nice to hear from you, Jerry, and you as well, Steve, today. And I like your topic, and I think it's a good one because I disagree. So we won't just concur all the way through, because I think rather the opposite is true, and I have a lot of high hopes for modern social media. I think that it might be a chance to really make society better, because I was feeling rather despairing and that we were kind of gridlocked and going down a bad path. I see a ray of hope in our internet and things like this podcast, which I don't think, I hope the Polemic Pool is not detrimental to public discourse.
Okay, Steve? Well, I think so. I think it would. Facebook definitely comes to mind first and foremost with me. But I think you could also include Twitter, and I think the blogs also are a facet. Well, I'm kind of interested to hear what Laura has to say about the positive aspects. Just as a point to get our discussion going on that, I certainly have noticed that when I engage myself in political and cultural discourse in Facebook, that there seems to be a great divide between the left and right, and that there seems to me, and correct me too if you think I'm in error here, that there are sites that primarily cater to certain political positions and cultural positions, Tea Party, Republican, leftist, Democrat, however you want to phrase them. There's certainly some gradations along there. But a lot of the people, the great majority of the people who post on these sites tend to reinforce one another, and that's what I was thinking of when I mentioned tribalism. And outsiders, they are pounced on. So what do you say to that? Hello?
Yeah. Everything has its downside, and we can certainly pick on the Internet and everything like that as far as what they've done to sort of erode our vocabulary and the way that people misbehave on the Internet because they're anonymous. And there's a lot of other things you could say as well. However, I've been drawing charts showing how many companies control most of the media in the United States. Since college, I think. I'm pretty old. And, you kind of have a media octopus. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those. Each tentacle belongs to a different company, and it'll control TV stations and newspapers and things. And the number of tentacles on these octopi have shrunk and shrunk, and now there's only 6 that are controlling most of the media in this country. And also, they've become more integrated, so one company will have the TV station and the newspaper in the same area, which used to be against the law. So the message that you are getting through standard media has filtered down and is under the control of such a very few forces, and they are corporate forces, that I find it very, very alarming. So the complaint you have about the Internet is similar to the one that is happening in the rest of the world. And I was happened to look at USA Today yesterday, and my eye fell on the mission statement of it. It's one sentence, and it says, USA Today hopes to serve as a forum for better understanding and unity to help make the USA truly one nation. And I thought, boy, that ain't no muckraker statement. Let's be friends, everybody, is the motto of USA Today. I do not expect them to be shaking up the edifices of power with a statement like that. So we need something else. We need more voices. We need local people to be typing polemics on the Internet and getting wide circulation. I find it very important. I would hope for more than mere pushback, but at least that, yes. Depends on the person, but I have like 500 Facebook friends. I have them, in different parts of the world, and I can crowdsource a question and just kind of throw it out there and have a debate on my own Facebook page about something and kind of follow along and make conclusions. A lot of things are happening. Pretty exciting things.
Well, I think you have something there about the tailored news sources. There's a new book out that's garnering a lot of talk. The Loudest Voice in the Room, How the Brilliant, Bombastic Roger Ailes Built Fox News and Divided the Country by Gabriel Sherman. And I do think we've had as Laura said, a constriction of concentration of news outlets. And we've also, at the same time, have had a divisional sort of process going on, too, where points of view are represented by these different entities. Both are rather, well, in some ways disturbing and alarming developments in our news processing and gathering and distribution. And Laura does have a very good point, I think, about the Internet being an independent source for discussion and news per se itself. I just hope that it can rise to the challenge and provide us with true means of being able to both find news and also be able to discuss it in an intelligent manner. Your thoughts? Uh-huh. Yeah, Laura. Go ahead, Laura. I was interested to hear what you would have to say, since you were a champion of the Internet in regards to Steve's comment there.
Oh, I think that certain questions never get asked in our society. We just assume this is the way it is, this is what is important, and we roll with that. And I see the Internet as a place where we might ask certain questions that would never get said otherwise, and that is very important and it's dangerous, and those voices will be suppressed in these 6 octopus arms of major media. They will get asked on the Internet. I don't know how many people will pick up on them. That's what's, it's almost more important than facts and a pile of news stories, but real examination of what underlies everything in our world.
Well, I do know that I run across things on the Internet that I find very doubtful as far as their authority, and it puzzles me at times to see how I can possibly check the information I'm hearing. I don't have a good
baby.
Go ahead.
Yes. Snopes. You can fact check Snopes.com. But go ahead, Pat. Go ahead, Jerry. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, yeah, I perhaps being a bit savvier with certain sources could help, I suppose. I'm at a loss for the moment. Steve, did you have a point that you'd like to make? I do like the idea of the free internet being a beacon out there for information and various points to be presented across the board on any topic. But I do wonder in its ability to rise in its voice loud enough to compete with more dominant news sources. That's a question of concern I have. Or the flip
I'd like
side.
to say,
Go ahead, Laura.
well, okay. All right, Jerry, we'll hit you with a big pile of things and see how you can respond. I'd like to say that the Internet has helped expose people, expose the United States government when it is up to no good. I believe that we about had a war on Iran and that public outcry against it stopped our government from just jumping into that. We've been able to raise funds for causes and start businesses on the Internet in ways that would never have happened before. And the speed of information transfer has gone way up. You can, it's free. And on the downside, we're wasting a lot of time on there.
I think there's a lot of great aspects to the internet, but with all that said, I still think there's a lot of self-reinforcement that goes on in both the internet and its social media aspects, as well as major media. For instance, one can follow Fox News and then reinforce oneself with Tea Party sites on the Internet and have sort of a very sheltered, for instance, informational source bias that way. And the same can be said for leftist folk as well. So I hope we're intelligent enough across the board to be able to rise above the challenge of tribalism, which I brought up initially. I have hopes with Laura, actually, that we will, but I do think it is a challenge.
Yeah, point taken. Oh, point taken, yeah. He's right.
No, I just wanted to say that I enjoyed this discussion tonight, and there's certainly we could go on for a great time, a longer time on this. But I'd like to hear now from Laura and what our next topic will be.
Oh, thank you, guys. I wanted to make it positive, so the title is Good News. The American way of life is doomed.
Well, that's a positive note, all right. Yeah, and we're going to have to work on just what the American dream means, too. And
It's really a huge topic. We won't be able to, I mean, we could talk about that for the next 2 months, I think, and it's going to be a little difficult for me to break some of the ideas down quick so we can drop them out there, but I'm excited to talk about that.
likewise.
You guys take care.
All righty.
Goodbye, Steve. Goodbye, Jerry.
Good night.